Hello guys and welcome back to another video. This one is another update of my reading journal and I can't believe how we're reaching the end of the journal. Time flies by for sure. So this November was a little chaotic, so I only read two books. First, it was Her Soul to Take by Arlie Leroux, which I gave 4 stars, and Lights Out by Navessa Hallen with 5 stars. Only one book left to reach my goal of 32 books. I plan to read 2 more books in December, so I'm going to reach it for sure. I tend to lean on ebooks when I'm more busy because it's easier to read on the go, on my lunch breaks or when I have free time in between appointments, but I still prefer to read physical books when I can. I'm not going to finish my maybe next slash TBR because I don't want to. I mean, there's only one book that I still want to read, and that's The Sweetest Oblivion. The more cutesy books I don't want to read anymore. I really am a dark romance girly, and I don't know, the sweet and cute books, even if they have spice, they don't do it for me. So I'm only going to read books that I really want to in 2025. Because time is precious, so you should spend it reading what you want. I made more progress in my alphabet challenge with H for Her Soul to Take, and for the rest of the challenges this month I didn't make any progress, unfortunately. I updated my series tracker with 2 new series, The Souls Trilogy for Her Soul to Take and Into Darkness for Lights Out. They both are the first in each series, and I'm starting more series than I'm completing, but some of them the books are still coming out, and others I don't know if I'm going to continue, so we'll see. So for the general review of each book, I really liked them. Her Soul to Take, I liked the story more than I liked the characters, and I only gave 4 stars because the story is interesting. But the characters, I don't know, Raylene, the female MC, is a bit dumb, I guess. You know that character in a horror movie that always makes the dumbest things and ends up dead? That's Raylene. She lacks self-preservation, and it says that in the book, but still, I was so frustrated. But I'll talk more about it later. And for Lights Out, I loved this book. The female MC here is actually really smart, and the male MC is a work of art. So good, I loved the story as well, and I laughed a lot in this book. Just good things about it. Moving on to the November cover page, I'm going to use this sticker sheet from Ikigai Papir, which belongs to Hedda from Mochi Bujo. I'm sure you already know her. I'll link her channel and shop down below so you can check it out. This is the Dark Academia sticker sheet, and I used it as inspiration for this spread. To come up with different ideas for each monthly cover page in the reading journal, sometimes I take inspiration from my bullet journal theme, sometimes I make a theme that I wanted to make in the bullet journal but I ended up not making it, or the more usual thing is I go through my sticker sheets and see if any of them sparks inspiration. And that's what this was. I was inspired by these stickers that are gorgeous and decided that they would make a really cute theme. After I chose the stickers that I'm going to use, I go through the other stationery and see what goes well with the theme. So in this case I put a doily as a background because one of the stickers has a teacup with a doily underneath. And it also has books, so I'm using one of my favorite washi tapes from Paper Monogatari. This shop belongs to Anna from JournalSay, I'll link her as well in the description. I also used this washi tape in my November bullet journal setup. I made a book theme and it was perfect, my second favorite of the year. First is October, curiously also inspired by a book, and that is Hunting Underline. Wow, that was a tangent. So getting back to the setup, I'm making a collage as you can see, and I'm mixing the materials and see in which place they end up. I'm only gluing things down when I know for sure that they are going to stay there. And sometimes I'll still change it afterwards. I left all the process but a little sped up, otherwise this video would be 2 hours long, but you can still see the process and the changes that I make to reach the final result. With the decorations done, we can fill the calendar with the time that I spent reading each book. Most of my November was spent reading Her Soul to Take, not because it's a big book or I didn't enjoy it, it's more because I didn't have time, and that's okay. After that, I finished the month with Lights Out. Okay, it's time for the individual review, and starting with Her Soul to Take, the story follows Leon, which is a demon, and Raylene, which is a student, but also is an amateur ghost hunter. She makes paranormal videos, goes to haunted houses, all of that. And in this small town named Abelum, I can't pronounce it right, there is a secret cult, and Leon is controlled by the family that runs it. He is bound to them because of a grimoire that contains his name, so he can be summoned and he's forced to obey the commands of the summoner. But Leon has a reputation. He's called the Killer because he kills everyone that summons him. But this time he can kill his master because this family is protected by magic. In the school that Raylene studies in, there was a murder. More like a human sacrifice, but that's not known to the public. And she's intrigued because in that small town, murder is not a typical crime, and she starts to dig a little deeper. The two of them crosses paths in the school. Leon is working as an undercover security guard for the cult, and he's intrigued by Raylene, so he starts to watch her, and he discovers that she's the next sacrifice that the cult is making. So, as you can see, the story is pretty interesting, with all these family secrets and cults and sacrifices mixed with demons and monsters. But I didn't really like the characters. Raylene is very impulsive and Leon is this tough guy, but he's not. I was very disappointed because he's not a good fighter as he thinks, and that annoys me. But the story was good and I'm very excited for the third book actually, which is The Soul of a Witch. And I saw a little sneak peek of the relationship of this couple on a scene in this book, so I'm going to read the second book, that's Her Soul for Revenge, and then read the third, because even though they can be read as standalones, I like to read the series in order. Next is Lights Out, and this is a stalker romance. The story follows Hallie. She's a nurse and she's a normal woman. She spends her free time watching TikToks, more specifically a masked man that makes videos with a knife and a fake blood. It's like a dark fantasy that never comes true, until one day she sends a picture of this masked man to her occasional lover, asking him to do that, but he refuses and puts an end to this hookup. Tyler, this man, happens to show Josh, his best friend, what Ali sent him, and Josh is immediately obsessed with her. Why? Because he's looking at a picture of himself. He is the masked man. And no, it's not a spoiler, it happens pretty early in the book. So it starts to stalk her, and he decides to see if she's all talk or she actually would like to turn her fantasy into reality. So he breaks into her house and meets the best character in the book, Fred, Alice's cat, and he actually likes Josh. So he goes into her bedroom and films himself and posts the video and leaves his mask on her bed. So of course she recognizes the space in his video and realizes he was in her house. The story then continues, but I can't give anything more because of spoilers. But I love Josh. Where can I get one like him? Not the stalker version, of course, but his personality is amazing. He is kind, gentle, and sarcastic, and he has a whole backstory that explains his obsession with monitoring his loved ones. This book also has some mafia sprinkled in it. It's part of the story, but it's not about it. I don't know if that makes sense. Basically, the mafia part is just to solve a problem, and a good plot twist as well. So the story is amazing, the romance is wholesome, and I didn't expect it, but it was so funny sometimes. It was dark, but not the usual dark romance or stalker romance. It still has dark topics and thoughts and all of that, but is more manageable, I think. It's a pretty good book if you want to try to read a stalker romance for the first time. Try this one first instead of Hunting Adeline, for example, which is much more heavy. So 5 stars for me. I hope to find another stalker romance as good as this one. Now that I finished petting Saphira, it's time for the final flip through. Not a long one, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give a like and subscribe, it helps me so much. My next goal is 1,000 subscribers, so with your help I can reach it. Tell me in the comments your stalker romance recommendations, so you know we can give each other some book ideas. And don't forget that I have a discount code for Evie, Juliana20 for 20% off your order. So if you want to give a loved one some washi tapes or some stationery in these holidays, this is a great opportunity. Thank you for watching and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!